things here. We got Swag Flu taking on We Pro as we speak, and in just a moment we'll have Cherry taking on Jake Bluesword. We're waiting for the loser of this match to be ready to go for losers round number 2. We'll also have the same thing happening for Homeboy in just a second. So Cherry, man, rough loss right there, man. Rough loss.
Yeah, I would say for me, I'm still kind of Sephiroth is slowly but surely becoming a character that I like co-main with Pac-Man.
Okay.
And it definitely for RP4, I feel that it worked out because I feel in the past when we've played, Link is a character that overwhelms me personally a bit, but then also like kind of stuffs out certain aspects of Pac-Man, and so Sephiroth I felt much more confident with, and I kind of messed up at the end as well, as well as in the second match with like certain recoveries and all that, and like it happens to everyone. So like if you ever if like people are in the same spot, like you can't rough yourself up too bad about it. You just gotta keep playing, but it's all right. I'm excited to keep playing throughout this.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, obviously we could, you can tell just from just the eyeball test, will let you know that there's still a lot of learning curve to come with that character. And I could tell there was like, I could tell that was an input mistake right there. So, yeah, no, you're 100% right. It happens, and you cannot beat yourself up over it. And, heck, that's half the reason we're here with this is it's a really great means for you to be able to try out things with a lot of these different characters.
Exactly, and looking like we're going to be seeing some tried and true right now. We're seeing the Mega Man versus the Banjo-Kazooie from Phil, and I honestly don't remember how often these two play like around this far in bracket, so it'll be interesting to see how like Phil responds to the type of kind of mid-range zoning, mid-range projectile play that BW kind of has in store, as well as the opposite is true, how BW kind of responds to Phil's active and then quickly inactive types of play, where he'll go from being super aggressive as he is now into then making sure like kind of calculated plays are being made with his projectiles like we're seeing here. And so far it seems to be working out pretty well, as Phil getting BW all the way to 150, almost max rage here. And there's that marker as, oh my goodness, and there's the F smash for the read. Nice on Phil's end. And this is definitely looking to be one heck of an interesting match, if I do say so myself. Alright, we see him go for that up tilt. Although I will say, probably not at the percent that is going to kill on Pokemon Stadium 2. The ceiling is pretty high on this stage, and I think that overall, we're going to be seeing Phil try to get back out on stage here. Gets hit by the F smash. Can he make it back? I don't think he has a Wonder Wing. And he tried to air dodge through, and then he also got spiked. Talk about overkill. But he does get his Wonder Wings back. So let's see if Phil's able to continue what he's doing in this next stock. Goes for another Wonder Wing, and we kind of saw Phil earlier. He rolled a bit, quite a bit, rather, and that kind of can be an issue with your defensive play later on, because in this game specifically, when you roll, over time it actually decreases the invulnerability on each roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's really hard for some players if they try to play super defensive, or if they're in like a panic situation where they do feel that they need to roll multiple times. It actually can be like a nerf in a sense to that type of play style. So it encourages better movement, or like more like diverse movement, I guess, in that sense. But at the same time, it can be very hard to deal with when you do need to roll. But it looks like Phil, not really in a rough spot himself, does his second stock and almost getting BW to lap him in terms of percentages. He's been doing really good stuff so far.
Who opens
BW.
up with ever wing? Oh, but goes
Oh,
overhead on that one as if he was waiting on it.
yeah. That's one really nice thing about Banjo's F smash is that it is one of those overhead types of F smashes. A couple other characters have them, like sword characters. Ice climbers have it. DDD has it, but you always kind of forget about it with Banjo since it's Kazooie. It's not really like a weapon. It's a character, but for him it is a weapon, and it's just one of those crazy things that you kind of have to remember. And it looks like BW may have forgotten in a sense there, or maybe just got caught lacking, you know. But that first win goes to Phil, Titan Killer. So this will be interesting.
Yeah, let's check out the predictions on it right now. Right now, once again, there's 1,000 channel points bet on Phil, so this ought to be pretty interesting. Phil looking like he has something like a new main, huh, Cherry?
Yeah, I agree. I think that last night actually we were playing. I was streaming some late night Smash, and Phil came by, and we talked a bit about just like characters and matchups and things like that. And he still, I think, considers Sam as one of those characters that he wants to use a bunch. But I think he also seems to be having a lot of fun with Banjo, and it seems like, as well as Phil's kind of like playstyle, he seems very much more comfortable with Banjo, because we've seen Phil kind of come right at home with the way he's kind of able to get super aggressive at the beginning of games, at the beginning of stocks, and then once he gets that percent lead, he is very comfortable with either going for Wonder Wing reads or getting grabs or getting F smashes when, like, in terms of when he needs them, forcing his opponent to approach, things like that. And right now we are seeing the more approaching style.
With a cold cram to get us started.
Yeah, yes, sir. And I think that might have been the adaptation that BW needs for this set. And you see this a lot at the pro level as well. You'll see like a player who is somewhat well known go against like a pro player or something like that, and it's called like pro player privilege. And it's just when a pro player maybe loses that first game, and then they change one thing up about how they played that first game, or they get a read or a download, and they're already ready to ride that second game into a win. And it kind of looks similar in this case. We're seeing Phil here about close to getting lapped at 94% here. Now he's been lapped. BW not really looking too dangerous, and now Phil finally taking that first stock. But if you notice, Phil already is out of Wonder Wings, so he cannot use that kill confirm or that damage wrecking tool that he uses frequently. He's gonna either have to get a bunch of damage this stock or really bet it all on his last stock and save those Wonder Wings for the next two. At 142. Let's see if he can get something going. Gets a dash tech, doesn't get anything else off of it. Nice back air from BW. What a great ledge guard situation he put him into. Alright, we see the down throw. No forward air though. Goes for up air instead. And then Phil throwing out that Wonder Wing on his last stock. Only has a couple left. Ooh, and there it is.
The cold cram to finish it up. We're going to get some double crammage when we check it out on the instant replay, folks.
And what a good switch up for BW here in this match. We see him kind of just get far more aggressive and kind of not really worrying about that mid-range zoning that we kind of talked about earlier this set. And I think that was a good switch. We see how Phil kind of does control the neutral a bit more when he is in control of the approach situations, and it kind of forces BW into those corners. And this game, BW had none of that.
Going
he was
right back
it.
at it, no questions asked. Let's see, switch that up and hop into the full game.
Yeah, man. Interesting turn of events here. I think that if Phil's able to kind of play at the pace that BW is kind of forcing here with these falling saw, the falling nair, the leaf shield as well, if he's able to kind of learn to get into that same pace in terms of damage output, I think that this might be a much closer game than the first and second half for both parties. And it's kind of looking like that. We're seeing not too much percent getting each other apart. Both kind of just get swinging up close. Both these players want to be up close to win this set. That's just how it's going to go. Phil using that jump to save himself there as well. Some great DI, but that spike going to do it for his stock there. Phil not too far behind, needs to get this stock to keep up. Nice extra credit amount for BW, starting to rack it up. Doesn't get the saw read. Multi-jet coming out. I was gonna SD there. I was very worried. We're seeing Phil kind of getting a bit anxious here, trying to go for these F smashes. I would be in his shoes personally. We're trying to make sure that we don't take as much damage as we can, but at the same time, we're running low in resources with Wonder Wings. F smashes haven't been hitting, but finally getting the one he needed. And not a moment too soon, as he's out of Wonder Wings. There it is, that forward smash ledge guard situation for BW. And I think that that's just one of those situations where if you're BW, you kind of want to switch up the way you are fighting your opponent. You want to switch up the way that your opponent is thinking about the pace. And that's kind of something that BW has had for a while. He's had really great pace shifting. And here we're seeing how beforehand he used to kind of stay close to ledge, and now we're seeing him kind of switch it up and play a much more passive ledge option and kind of force the roll or the regular get up from Phil. Maybe trying to expect him to also either jump so he can go for that back air or go for that F smash like we just saw. And there it is.
Crammage to end it right there.
Crammage. That's a good term.
A good way to turn the phrase.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, while Cherry gets ready to go over and start his losers round match, we're getting ready to take a quick peek-see over at the bracket so we can kind of get things continuing to roll as we get ready to enter winner semifinals. Let's take a look at the bracket. Alright, so you guys just got down watching BW Styles versus Titan Killer in a back and forth matchup where BW Styles comes out victorious going up 2-1. Next up, you guys will see